What's up, guys? My name is Brandon. You guys can call me Swifterrs, and welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video here on my channel. Today I am coming at you guys with a super exciting video because in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 worst items ever added into Fortnite. Now, over this past year, Epic Games has introduced a ton of new things and a ton of new items into Fortnite Battle Royale, and honestly all of them haven't really been received by the community in a positive light. And because of that, today I wanted to go ahead and take a look at everything that Epic Games has introduced into the game, and I'm going to be bringing you guys my top 10 list of the worst things ever added into the game. Now, for the most part, I honestly feel like Epic Games is pretty good about listening to community feedback and adding community input into the game, but at the same time, they obviously cannot please everybody, and today I wanted to go ahead and take a look at the top 10 worst things ever added into Fortnite. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below if there are any things that you guys think deserve to be on this list. By the end of today's video, hopefully I cover all of them, but if I happen to leave anything out, be sure to let me know what it is in the comment section below. Regardless, guys, with all of that being said, let's get started with today's video, taking a look at the top 10 worst things ever added into Fortnite. Alrighty, guys, so to go ahead and get started with today's video, the very first item that is definitely considered one of the worst items ever added into Fortnite is an item that was added earlier this week. This is the turret. As you guys can see, the turret is a pretty overpowered item, and I would honestly say that the turret is probably the most hated item ever added into Fortnite. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I honestly feel like Epic Games is super receptive when it comes to taking community feedback into consideration and adding it or editing it within the game. However, I have seen numerous people voice their concerns about the turret over on Twitter or in their YouTube videos, telling Epic Games to remove this from Fortnite Battle Royale, but still, even after the most recent patch update, the turret has still yet to be taken out of the game. You have players from the competitive professional scene of Fortnite advocating that the turret absolutely needs to be removed from the game. Players who casually enjoy playing Fortnite also hate the turret, and again, I honestly think that this is an item that Epic Games will most definitely take out of the game in an upcoming update. Even though the turret was added sometime within the past week, it is definitely one of the most recent hated items and definitely considered to be one of the worst items added into the game. So, moving on to the next worst item ever added into Fortnite, this is the Chiller Trap. Now, the Chiller was added into Fortnite sometime within the past 6 weeks or so, and when it was first added, it was kind of a cool, quirky item. However, as time has progressed, the Chiller Trap has honestly become one of the most annoying items ever added into the game. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I pick up a Chiller Trap, I always drop it as soon as it comes into my inventory, just because having a Chiller in my inventory makes it a little bit more difficult to switch between some of the more useful items in that inventory, like campfires, like jump pads, and like those spike traps. So overall, the Chiller Trap, while it was once a sort of fun and cool item when it was first added into Fortnite, has definitely become a super annoying, super weird, and super unimportant item that I definitely think it needs to be removed from Fortnite. So, continuing on to the next worst item added into Fortnite, this is a fairly recent addition into the game. Here we have the Dynamite TNT. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Dynamite is basically just a reskin of the C4, which was an item that was previously added and has since been removed from Fortnite, but the Dynamite is pretty much the exact same thing. The Dynamite could absolutely obliterate structures, it takes out structures in tilted towers, it's super hard to counter against, and honestly, I have no idea why Epic Games decided to introduce a pretty much a reskin version of the C4 into Fortnite Battle Royale, and I definitely consider it to be a very pointless item that the community honestly didn't even ask for, and because of that, I think it should be removed from Fortnite, and it's definitely considered to be one of the worst things ever added into the game. So, given the fact that we just covered the TNT Dynamite as one of the worst things added into Fortnite, I honestly think it makes a ton of sense to go back a little bit and talk about its precursor being the C4. As I mentioned, the C4, while it was once a rather cool item added into Fortnite, it definitely took its toll on the community. It was extremely overpowered, and it was very difficult to counter if you had a couple of enemies throwing it at you. It destroyed buildings in a matter of seconds. It was extremely hard to counter if there were 2 or 3 enemies on a squad constantly throwing C4s at your structure while you're trying to build, and it was honestly just a really poor addition into Fortnite, and it's a good thing that Epic Games had vaulted it and completely removed it from Fortnite Battle Royale. But given the fact that the Dynamite has sort of taken the spot of the C4, it's super counterintuitive, and I'm honestly hopeful that the Dynamite is also removed from the game. But of course, in my personal opinion, this C4 definitely goes down as one of the worst items added into Fortnite. So moving on to the next worst thing added into Fortnite. This is something that's currently no longer in the game, and I could not be more happy about it. It was actually removed from Fortnite at the very end of Season 4 and the very beginning of Season 5. This is the Hop Rocks. Now, for those of you who have been playing Fortnite since back in Season 4, you guys remember that the Hop Rocks were a brand new consumable item that you guys could use, and these were typically found only in Dusty Divot and other pockets located around the entire Fortnite map at very specific various locations. Now, the Hop Rocks, in my personal opinion, definitely created a super unfair advantage when it came to encountering an enemy who was using a Hop Rock. If you went up against someone using a Hop Rock in a build fight, it was extremely unfair just because they were bouncing and flying all over the place, and it was extremely hard to counter that. I absolutely hated the Hop Rocks, and honestly, I stayed away from using them as much as I could just because I thought that they were a super unfair item added into the game, and I could not be more happy with its removal from Fortnite at the very end of Season 4. But in my personal opinion, the Hop Rocks definitely hold a horrible spot in my heart, and that's why I've included them as one of the worst items added into the game. So continuing on to the next worst item added into Fortnite, this is actually in regard to a weapon that is currently still in the game. Here we have the Minigun. Now, the Minigun was added into Fortnite a while back, and ever since it was added, I have never been a fan of it. This is pretty much just a pre-version of the turret which we currently have in Fortnite, just because the Minigun, while it uses light ammo is super easy to come by. You guys could stack upwards of 1,000 light ammo bullets in your character or in your inventory, and if you guys just go ahead and hold down the trigger while you have a Minigun out, you could absolutely obliterate enemy structures. It's pretty difficult to counter when you have someone on an enemy team constantly bombarding your structure with a minigun, so I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Epic Games has yet to actually remove the minigun from Fortnite, just because a while back they actually removed the light machine gun from Fortnite, and I was honestly under the assumption that when Epic Games was going to remove the light machine gun, they were also going to remove the minigun. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and the minigun still remains in Fortnite, and I definitely consider it to be one of the worst items ever added. So extremely similar to the minigun, this is also another item which I definitely consider to be one of the worst things ever added into Fortnite. Here we have the quad launcher. Now, I honestly have no idea why Epic Games added the quad launcher into Fortnite. No one had asked for it. This came at a time shortly after the guided missile was added back into Fortnite. Since then, the guided missile has been removed from the game, but the fact that Epic Games had reinstated the guided missile and then decided to introduce another explosive device, being the quad launcher, honestly, it just baffles my mind, and I definitely consider the quad launcher to be a horrible addition into Fortnite, and that's why I've included it in today's video. So moving on to the next worst addition into Fortnite, this is in regard to the moving on to the 9th worst addition into Fortnite, this is the balloons. Now, the balloons were added into the game during the glider redeploy test, and this basically allowed you guys to go ahead and redeploy your glider at any point throughout the entire Fortnite match. Now, when this was in Fortnite, having the balloons was super helpful because you guys could use the balloons to get to a high height and then use that to glide down to a various location on the Fortnite map. But now that the glider redeploy is no longer in Fortnite, using the balloons is pointless. You guys are a sitting duck if you guys use the balloons. It is so easy to get shot down, and given the fact that you cannot redeploy your glider, it is so pointless to use the balloons. I honestly have no idea why Epic Games decided to introduce them into Fortnite now that we no longer have glider redeploy in the game, and that's why I've included them in today's video. Moving on to the 9th worst thing added into Fortnite. I'm gonna be honest, guys, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit to include this particular item in today's video, but I thought it was necessary given the current state of what we have in Fortnite. Here we have the shopping cart. Now, I know what some of you guys may be thinking, why is the shopping cart included in today's video? Well, the shopping cart, for those of you who don't know, was technically considered our first ever vehicle added into Fortnite, given the fact that since the addition of the shopping cart, we've actually had 2 more vehicles added into Fortnite, being the ATK and the Quad Crasher. I don't know about you guys, but I honestly have yet to see anyone using a single shopping cart since the addition of the ATK, which was a while back, and now that we have the Quad Crasher, literally no one uses shopping carts, and I feel bad just because I feel like this item has sort of been forgotten about. But given the fact that it's sort of become a useless or a pointless item, I've decided to include it in today's video. Moving on to the 10th and final worst thing ever added into Fortnite. This is actually in regard to a specific location on the map. This location is by far, in my opinion, the worst location ever added into Fortnite, and I cannot wait until Epic Games removes it from the game. This is Dusty Divot. Now, obviously, the gameplay that you guys are seeing is from back in Season 4 when Dusty Divot first arrived in the Fortnite map. Obviously, Dusty Divot here in Season 6, almost in Season 7, has definitely undergone some pretty monumental changes. Regardless, every variation of Dusty Divot, in my opinion, is awful. I absolutely hate this gigantic dirt crater in the center of the map. I hate it so much, and I honestly cannot wait until Epic Games decides to remove it from the map. I've got my fingers crossed that with the introduction of Season 7, Dusty Divot will be completely gone, and something way better will fill up the giant hole in the center of the map. Regardless, guys, there you have it. Those were, in my opinion, the 10 worst things ever added into Fortnite. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any other things that I forgot to mention in today's video. Regardless, guys, that is going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new. With all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be sure to catch you guys later.